Welcome back for the updated view of the MRX6R. Just going to go over a couple things that I've done with the car since you've seen in the last build video. If you haven't seen the video, it just goes over just more in depth rather than a time-lapse video, just a little bit more in depth of different things that the car features, as well as what some of the things are intended for when they design this car. So you get to see those in a presentation of sorts rather than just a quick person just building video. That'll be a link in the description for that, so you can go ahead and check that out. But let's get on with the video today. So first update is obviously the engine is out. We'll go over that a little bit later in the video, but that's the most noticeable thing that's going on with the car today, is that the engine is removed. But other things that are simpler and easier to describe first, I have went ahead and purchased ProTech aluminum servo horns for the throttle and for the steering. I pushed those onto the vehicle, give a little bit more rigidity for steering and for the throttle and brake. Another thing is that the switch is now removed. In the build video, I installed the switch. I thought about it. I did not want to keep plugging and unplugging the battery, but I got a way around that. Kind of psyched it up a little bit and said, you know what, that'll probably be the best way to go about things. So what I did is the wire is now routed from over here underneath the upper deck, and it goes around the fuel tank, and you can even see, I'm gonna try to see if you guys can see it right up in here. The wire comes behind the gas tank and then up to the battery connecting up here. And then I have the balance plug sticking out here, so that way it's not rubbing on any of the lay shaft or anything like that. And if it is touching the belt tensioner, that's why I have this heat shrink around the wires, so that way it wears through that instead of actually wearing through the wire. Another update on the vehicle is that testing and tuning went great. Breaking in and testing went great. Engine ran fine, nice and strong, idled great. Wrong name, but this is what I'm referring to. The glow plug mount. Glow plug goes on the top of there. The cooling head goes over top. This goes on top of the engine block. I saw some knurling on the bottom of this piece right here, and I said, that's kind of weird. Didn't see anything on the piston though. Thought it was maybe just something with the engine. So I kind of cleaned it all up, put it all back together, and then continued running and trying to tune. I was having some issues with it, but the other day was the biggest issue. It had locked up on me. It just stopped out of nowhere, and I didn't know why. So I pulled off the back plate, saw a tiny piece of metal in between the connecting rod and the actual the channel where the connecting rod spins through on the block. So right down here is where I found that piece of metal. Obviously the back plate's still on, but that's where it was at in there, and it was pinching the connecting rod, wouldn't allow it to move. Well, I take apart the engine to find out what there came from, because I didn't see anything, and come to find out I have some damage on the inside of my engine, and I didn't like that. So what I have is where all of this knurling, kind of tough to see, so I'm going to see if I can do it. Focus a little bit better. No, it's not working. Okay, but anyways, this is obviously darker than this piece right here. This should all look exactly the same, but because this is being grinded up, this is just causing metal flakes to fall down into the compression chamber. And as the piston comes up, it is building up and deteriorating what seems to be deteriorating the piston. And as you can see in there, it's kind of tough to see but you can see that the piston is not 100% smooth. And it's all grounded up. It's smooth in the center, but it's grounded up around the edges. And so with this engine to me is no good. That should not look like that ever. I've seen plenty of other people pull apart older engines, way older, that have been used, sat improperly, seized up, and they get them back out on the road and they're running no problem and look a lot better than this. So was very disappointed with that. Novarossi or OS. Most likely OS, but I've been reading a lot on Novarossi and they sound really good, sound really great. So if you can, if you want to, leave a comment in there what engine you think I should go with. I'm going to post a picture of both right about here, and then you guys can decide which one I should go with. But that's the update that I got for the MRX6R. Until next time, keep an eye out. Hit that subscribe button and the bell to turn on the notifications. That way you get an update every time I post a video. Still getting used to speaking to you guys. But anyways, real quick before I make this outro too long, just want to keep you guys heads up. Like I said in the video, subscribe and click the bell so you guys get notifications. Next week, we'll be dropping a video of the Team Associated B6.2. Started out driving that, but actually let my daughter take over. So this is kind of what we have right now. She ended up getting the car for herself. So I went ahead and gave her some of her own electronics. And this is where it's sitting at right now, currently. And as you can see, the wheel's hanging off. Got a couple issues from her last race day at the track. But I'm going to give you an update on the electronics that are currently in that, how she's been doing at the racetrack, and even try to get a little bit of race video in there for you. Or worst case scenario, just some practice videos of that. And even as well, the week after that, I got a video to let you guys know how I came about a whole nother Associated. Still working on getting it, but I believe it's pretty much in the bag. I'm just gonna, wait and find out if I actually can put my hands on it and bring it home before I go ahead and say anything else about that one. But other than that, like I said, have a good day, YouTube, and I'll see you next week.